Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Rama Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Rama
Hare
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री साधु गौरभक्त हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे हरे हरे राम
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama
Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 हरे कृष्ण Hare Krishna, Deepa Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mataji, means you are connected on laptop, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Means can I make you host, Mataji?
Yeah, Prabhuji. Where are we, but what are we doing?
Yeah, I'll also know, Mataji. I'll CC, we are reading
Let me
60-30.
see. I'll see in the chat.
Mataji, 13th chapter, 93 verse, we are at CC.
Yes, Prabhuji. I'm opening that.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
No problem, Prabhuji. Correct, no?
Yes, Mataji.
And in Brahma Samhita, do you know where we are?
Five slokas completed, Mataji. First 5.
Okay, which means the first shloka plus 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Yeah, Prabhuji.
Yes, considering 29 as the first, we are at 33rd, Mataji. 33rd was finished actually.
Okay, Prabhuji. అది కూడా ఓపెన్ చేసి పెడతాను.
Okay.
ఇది అయిపోయిందా ప్రభుజీ? ఇది నడుస్తోందా?
అయిపోయింది మాతాజీ.
అయిపోయింది. సో ఇవాళ మీరు ఆ 29 to 33 చేస్తున్నారా లేదంటే నెక్స్ట్ చేస్తున్నారా?
We'll just go with the review of 29 to 33 and then we'll go from 34 to the next 39, that is 38, whatever it is.
Okay, ప్రభుజీ. Okay. Yeah, we'll start with Mangala Charan. Are everybody able to see my screen? Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
1 minute. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So we'll start with Adilila 13.93 translation. All people thus chanted the Hare Krishna Mahamantra during the lunar eclipse, and their minds were struck with wonder. When the whole world was thus chanting the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna in the form of Gaurahari adventured himself on the earth. The whole world was pleased while the Hindus chanted the holy name of the Lord. The non-Hindus, especially the Muslims, jokingly imitated the words. Purport. Although Muslims or non-Hindus have no interest in chanting the holy name of the Lord, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Muslims in Navadvipa imitated the Hindus as they chanted during the lunar eclipse. Thus, the Hindus and Muslims joined together in chanting the holy name of the Lord when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented himself. Hare Krishna. Samhitha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Translation. While all the ladies vibrated the holy name of Hari on earth, in the heavenly planets dancing and music were going on, for the demigods were very curious. In this atmosphere, all the 10 directions became jubilant, as did the waves of the rivers. Moreover, all beings moving and non-moving were overwhelmed with transcendental bliss. Thus, by his causeless mercy, the full moon, Gaurahari, rose in the district of Nadia, which is compared to Udayagiri, where the sun first becomes visible. His rising in the sky dissipated the darkness of sinful life, and thus the three worlds become joyful and chanted the holy name of the Lord. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. At that time, Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, in his own house at Shantipura, was dancing in a pleasing mood. Taking Haridas Thakura with him, he danced and loudly chanted Hare Krishna. But why they were dancing, no one could understand. But it is understood that Advaita Prabhu at the time was in his own paternal house at Shantipura. Haridas Thakura frequently used to meet him. Coincidentally, therefore, he was also there, and upon the birth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, both of them immediately began to dance. But no one in Shantipura could understand why those two saintly persons were dancing. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sandhya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Seeing the lunar eclipse and laughing, Advaita Acharya and Haridasa Thakura immediately went to the bank of the Ganges and bathed in the river in great jubilation. Taking advantage of the occasion of the lunar eclipse, Advaita Acharya, by his mental strength, distributed various types of charity to the Brahmins. Purport. It is the custom of Hindus to give in charity to the poor as much as possible during the time of lunar or solar eclipse. Advaita Acharya, therefore, taking advantage of this eclipse, distributed many varieties of charity to the Brahmanas. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.3.11, there is a statement that when Krishna took his birth, Vasudeva immediately took advantages of it at this moment and distributed 10,000 cows to the Brahmanas. It is customary among Hindus that at the time a child is born, especially a male child, the parents distribute great charity in jubilation. Advaita Acharya was actually interested in distributing charity because of Lord Chaitanya's birth at the time of the lunar eclipse. People could not understand, however, why Advaita Acharya was giving such a great variety of things in charity. He did so not because of the lunar eclipse, but because of the Lord's taking birth at that moment. He distributed charity exactly as Vasudeva did at the time of Lord Krishna's appearance. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Lalit Mohan Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Translation. When he saw that the world was jubilant, the whole world was jubilant, Haridas Thakura, his mind astonished, directly and indirectly, expressed himself to Advaita Acharya. Your dancing and distributing charity are very pleasing to me. I can understand that there is some special purpose in these sections.
Continue, Prabhuji.
Translation. Acharya Ratna, Chandrasekhara, and Srivas Thakur were overwhelmed with joy, and immediately they went to the bank of the Ganges to bathe in her waters. Their minds full of happiness, they chanted the Hare Krishna mantra and gave charity by mental strength.
Prabhuji, I have a question here.
Yes, please.
What do you mean charity by mental health?
I didn't get you.
They gave charity by mental strength, right? So what does it mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? Physically, they couldn't afford Prabhuji, but they have done it by their mental, speculation. It's not speculation actually. Through mind, they offered it. So many times it is said that when a person couldn't afford it by physically, so they can do it by their mental strength.
Like, can you give an example?
Like they are not actually giving the cows on charity, but they're assuming that they are giving cows on charity. Mentally, they have done that.
Okay.
So they'll go to trance and then they'll arrange everything for what is needed for a cow charity, and then they'll do it on all the mental level terms, not on the physical level.
Okay, thank you.
So that is what is meant by mental strength.
Like even when I heard that Lord Krishna was born, Vasudeva also mentally actually gave the charity. He was in the prison house, so there was no physical to be given at that time, at that moment. That's what is that right, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Like 10,000 cows he's given charity, and that was actually mentally first. I don't know, like after like coming out, if he'd actually given it.
No, after killing of Kamsa, he again gave everything, Mataji.
Yeah.
When Agrasen Maharaj has been made king again, then he has done many sacrifices. He gave many sacrifices to.
Okay.
Not sacrifice, but to Danam.
Yeah. But originally it was mentally only he did, kada?
Yeah, initially he did mentally. After 11 years, when Krishna came back, to Mathura again, then he gave it physically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Please continue, Prabhuji. You can do until five translations if purport doesn't come, or wherever purport comes, you can. The last.
Okay, Mother, this is third translation.
Yeah.
Okay. In this way, all the devotees, wherever they were situated, in every city and every country, danced, performed Sankirtana, and gave charity by mental strength on the plea of the lunar eclipse. Their minds overwhelmed with joy. Translation: all sorts of respectable Brahmana gentlemen and ladies carrying plates filled with various gifts came with their presentations, seeing the newborn child, whose form resembled natural glaring gold. All of them happily offered their blessings. 13105 translation. Okay, Mataji, I'll just give it to someone else.
Yeah. Sapan Prabhu, you can do it.
Hare Krishna. Translation: dressing themselves as the wives of Brahmanas, all the celestial ladies, including the wives of Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Narasimhadeva, King Indra, and Vashishta Rishi, along with Ramba, a dancing girl of heaven, came there with varieties of gifts. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a newborn baby, he was visited by the neighboring ladies, most of whom were the wives of respectable Brahmanas. In the dress of Brahmana wives, celestial ladies like wives of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva also came to see the newborn child. Ordinary people saw them as respectable Brahmana ladies of neighborhood, but actually they were all celestial ladies dressed in that way. Hare Krishna.
Right. Raju Prabhuji, will you be able to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Translation. In outer space, all the demigods, including the inhabitants of the Gandharva Loka, Siddha Loka, and Charana Loka, offered their prayers and danced to the accompaniment of music, songs, and the beating of drums. Similarly, in Navadipa city, all the professional dancers, musicians, and blessers are gathered together and dancing in a great jubilation. Purpose, as there are professional singers, dancers, and reciters of prayers in the heavenly planet. So in India, still there are professional dancers, blessers, and singers, all of whom assemble together during the householder ceremonies, especially marriages and birth ceremonies. These professional men earn their livelihood by taking charity and such occasion from the home of the Hindus. Enrich NHS
Eunuchs.
eunuchs in what is it?
Eunuchs.
Eunuchs also take advantage of such ceremonies to receive charity. That is their means of livelihood. Such men never become servants or engage themselves in agriculture or business occupations. They simply take charity from neighborhood friends to maintain themselves peacefully. The Bhattas are castes of Brahmanas who go to such ceremonies to offer blessings by composing poems with reference to the Vedic scriptures. Hare Krishna. Meaning ఏంటి Mataji?
యూనక్స్ అంటే మన ట్రాన్స్జెండర్స్ ప్రభుజీ.
ఓకే.
నీదర్ మ్యాన్ నార్ ఉమెన్ కదా, వాళ్ళని యూనక్స్ అంటారు. అండ్ లావణ్య మాతాజీ మీరు ఉన్నారా? ఆర్ యు ఇన్ ఎ పొజిషన్ టు రీడ్?
Yes, Mataji. Now I can read. So which one? This is the one?
Yeah, this is the one.
Yeah. 13th chapter, 106, right? Hare Krishna. Yeah. Translation is prepared by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: in outer space, all the demigods, including the inhabitants of Gandharva Loka, Siddha Loka, Charana Loka, offered their prayers and danced to the accompaniment of music, songs, and the beating of drums. Similarly, in Navadvipa city, all the professional dancers, musicians, and blessers gathered together, dancing in great jubilation. Purport: as there are professional singers, dancers, and reciters of prayers in the heavenly planet, so in India still there are professional dancers, blessers, and singers, all of whom assemble together during householder ceremonies, especially marriages and birth ceremonies. These professional men earn their livelihood by taking charity on such occasions from the homes of the Hindus. Eunuchs also take advantage of such ceremonies to receive charity. That is their means of livelihood. Such men never become servants or engage themselves in agriculture or business occupations. They simply take charity from neighborhood friends to maintain themselves peacefully. The Bhattas are a class of Brahmanas who go to such ceremonies to offer blessings by composing poems with references to the Vedic scriptures. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Same translation repeat అయింది రాజు ప్రభు. Okay. Akinchan Prabhu, are you there? Can you read? Hare Krishna. Akinchan Prabhu? Okay, I'll continue. Translation. No one could understand who was coming and who was going, who was dancing and who was singing, nor could they understand one another's language. Yet all unhappiness and lamentation were immediately dissipated, and people became all jubilant. Thus Jagannath Mishra was also overwhelmed with joy. Chandrasekhar Acharya and Srivas Thakura both came to Jagannath Mishra and drew his attention in various ways. They performed the ritualistic ceremonies prescribed at the time of birth. According to religious principles, Jagannath Mishra also gave varieties of charity. Whatever riches Jagannath Mishra collected in the form of gifts and presentations, and whatever he had in his house, he distributed among the Brahmanas, professional singers, dancers, bhattas, and the poor. He honored them all by giving them riches in the charity. Translation and prepared by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The wife of Srivas Thakura, whose name was Malini, accompanied by the wife of Chandrasekhara Acharya Ratna and other ladies, came there in great happiness to worship the baby with paraphernalia such as vermilion, turmeric, oil, fused rice, bananas, and coconuts. Purport: vermilion, khai, fused rice, bananas, coconuts, and turmeric mixed with oil are all auspicious gifts for such a ceremony. As there is puffed rice, so there is another preparation of rice called khai or fused rice, which along with bananas is taken as a very auspicious presentation. Also, turmeric mixed with oil and vermilion makes an auspicious ointment that is smeared over the body of a newborn baby or a person who is going to marry. These are all auspicious activities in family affairs. We see that 500 years ago, at the birth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all these ceremonies were performed rigidly. But at present, such ritualistic performances hardly ever take place. Generally, a pregnant mother is sent to the hospital, and as soon as her child is born, he is washed with an antiseptic, and this concludes everything. Samhitha Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. One day, shortly after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, Advaita Acharya's wife, Sita Devi, who is worshipable by the whole world, took her husband's permission and went to see the topmost child with all kinds of gifts and presentations. Purport. It appears that Advaita Acharya had two different houses, one at Shantipura and one at Navadvipa. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, Advaita Acharya was residing not at his Navadvipa house, but at his Shantipura house. Therefore, as formerly explained, text 99, from Advaita's old paternal house, Nijalaya, in Shantipura, Sita came to Navadvipa to present gifts to the newborn child, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Sandhya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. She bought different kinds of golden ornaments, including armlets, necklaces, anklets, and bangles for the hands. There were also tiger nails set in gold, waist decorations of silk and lace, ornaments for the hands and legs, nicely printed silken saris, and a child's garment also made of silk. Many other riches, including gold and silver coins, were also presented to the child. Apart from the gifts presented by Sita Thakurani, Advaita Acharya's wife, it appears that Advaita Acharya was at the time a very rich man. Although Brahmanas are not the rich men of society, Advaita Acharya, being a leader of the Brahmanas in Shantipura, he considerably well-to-do. Therefore, he presented many ornaments to the baby Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Kamala Kanta Vishwasas asking for 300 rupees from the king of Jagannath Puri, Maharaja Prataparudra, on the plea that Advaita Acharya was in debt for that amount, indicates that such a rich man who could present many valuable ornaments, saris, etc., thought it difficult to repay 300 rupees. Therefore, the value of a rupee at the time was many thousands of times what it is now. At present, no one feels difficulty over a debt of 300 rupees, nor can an ordinary man accumulate such valuable ornaments to present to a friend's son. Probably the value of 300 rupees at that time was equal to the present value of 30,000 rupees. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Lavanya Mataji, you can read.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah, translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Riding in a palanquin covered with cloth and accompanied by maid servants, Sita Thakurani came to the house of Jagannath Mishra, bringing with her many auspicious articles such as fresh grass, paddy, gorochana, turmeric, kunkuma, and sandalwood. All these presentations filled in a large basket. Purport. The words Vastragupta, Dola are very significant in this verse. Even 50 or 60 years ago in Calcutta, all respectable ladies would go to a neighboring place riding on a palanquin carried by 4 men. The palanquin was covered with soft cotton, and in that way, there was no chance of seeing a respectable lady traveling in public. Ladies, especially those coming from respectable families, could not be seen by ordinary men. This system is still current in remote places. The Sanskrit word Asurya Pashya indicates that a respectable lady could not be seen even by the sun. In the Oriental culture, this system was very prevalent and was strictly observed by respectable ladies, both Hindu and Muslim. We have actual experience in our childhood that our mother would not walk even next door to observe an invitation. Rather, she would go in either a carriage or palanquin carried by 4 men. This custom was also strictly followed 500 years ago, and the wife of Advaita Acharya, being a very respectable lady, observed the customary rules current in that social environment. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mataji. Raju Prabhu, are you in a position to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Actually, I'll till reading session I'm okay, Mataji. Means I can concentrate and I can.
అంటే అదే 8:30 కి మీది ఉంటుందా?
లేదు రీడింగ్ సెషన్ అయిపోయేంత వరకు ఉంటాను.
ఓకే ప్రభుజీ.
Translation. When Sita Thakurani came to the house of Sachidevi, bringing with her many kinds of eatables, dresses and other gifts, she was astonished to see a newborn child, for she appreciated that except for a difference in color, the child was directly Krishna of Gokula himself. Purport. A petari is a kind of big basket that is carried in pairs on the ends of a rod balanced over the shoulders. The man who carries such a load is called bhari. This system of carrying luggage and packages is still current in India and other Oriental countries. And we have seen that the same system is still current even in Jakarta, Indonesia. Hare Krishna.
Lalit Mohan Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Akinchan Prabhu, are you there?
Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. Now you are audible.
Yeah. Someone else, please continue, Mataji. I'll just do it after someone. 2 minutes, few minutes.
Okay. Akinchan Prabhu, you can do.
I'm not able to see the screen.
Are you able to see it now?
No, Mataji. It is
No.
because it is my. Still, I'm not able to see this.
Are you on Wi-Fi or data?
I'm on Wi-Fi, Mataji.
Acha. We are at CCRD 13.116. If you want, you can open that.
No, that I was sometimes I'm seeing your screen, but
Okay. So I'll ask Lalit Mohan Prabhu to start. Yeah. When you are ready, you can just voice out.
Sure.
Yeah. Lalit Mohan Prabhu, meer continue cheyandi. Who else is there?
Mataji, I also joined Mataji.
Prabhuji, meer chadavandi aithe.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Seeing the translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Seeing the transcendental bodily effulgence of the child, each of these nicely constructed limbs full of auspicious signs and resembling a form of gold. Seta Thakurani was very pleased, and because of her material affection, she felt as if her heart were melting.
Idi kuda chadavandi.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. She blessed the newborn child by placing fresh grass and paddy on his head and saying, "May you be blessed with a long duration of life." But being afraid of ghosts and witches, she gave the child the name Nemai. Purport. Dakini and Sakini are two companions of Lord Shiva and his wife, who are supposed to be extremely inauspicious, having been born of ghostly life. It is believed that such inauspicious living creatures cannot go near a Nema tree. At least medically, it is accepted that Nema wood is extremely antiseptic, and formerly it was customary to have a Nema tree in front of one's house. On very large roads in India, especially in Uttar Pradesh, there are hundreds and thousands of nema trees. Nema wood is so antiseptic that the Ayurvedic science uses it to cure leprosy. Medical scientists have extracted the active principle of the nema tree, which is called margosic acid. Nema is used for many purposes, especially to brush the teeth. In Indian villages, 90% of the people use nema twigs for this purpose. Because of all the antiseptic effects of the nema tree, and because Lord Chaitanya was born beneath a nema tree, Sita Thakurani gave the Lord the name Nemai. Later in his youth, he was celebrated as Nemai Pandita, and in the neighborhood villages, he was called by that name, although his real name was Viswambara.
Akinchit Prabhu, ఇప్పుడు కనబడుతుందా?
Yes, I can see. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. On the day the mother and son bathed and left the maternity home, Sita Thakurani gave them all kinds of ornaments and garments, and then also honored Jagannath Mishra. Then Sita Thakurani, being honored by Mother Sachidevi and Jagannath Mishra, was greatly happy within her mind, and thus she returned home. Purport. On the 5th day from the birth of the child, as also on the 9th day, the mother bathes either in Ganges or in another sacred place. This is called Nishkarmana, or the ceremony of coming out of the maternity home. Nowadays, the maternity home is hospital, but formerly in every respectable house, one room was set aside as a maternity home where the children would take birth, and on the 9th day after the birth of the child, the mother would come into the regular rooms in the ceremony called Nishkramana. Of the 10th purification process, Nishkramana is one. Formerly, especially in Bengal, the higher caste observed 4 months after the birth of the child as a quarantine. At the end of the 4th month, the mother could see the sunrise. Later, the higher caste, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, observed only 21 days as a quarantine, whereas the Shudras has observed 30 days. For the sections of the society known as Kartabhaja, and Satima, the mother of the child, was immediately purified after the quarantine by the throwing harinuta, small pieces of sweet meat, in Sankirtana. Sachidevi and Jagannath Mishra with the newborn child were honored by Sita Thakurani. Similarly, while Sita Thakurani was returning home, she was also honored by Sachidevi and Jagannath Mishra. That was the system in the respectable families of Bengal. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Lalitman Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Translation. In this way, Mother Sachidevi and Jagannath Mishra, having obtained a son who was the husband of the goddess of fortune, had all their desires fulfilled. Their house was always filled with riches and grains. As they saw the beloved body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, day after day their pleasure increased. Purport by His Divine Grace. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, everyone offered respects to him. Even the denizens of heaven used to come in the dress of ordinary men to offer their respects to the Lord. His father and mother, Jagannath Mishra and Sachidevi, seeing the honor of this transcendental son, also become very pleased within their hearts.
Okay. We'll conclude the reading here. Is that okay, Prabhu? Under the 2 turns అయింది. So we'll start with Brahma Samhita. It's 8:40. Prabhuji, please take it forward.
Yes. So whoever joined, they can recite these 5 verses. First 5 verses of Brahma Samhita, that is 29 to 33. Or do you find any difficulty still, reciting those verses? Like Akinjan Prabhu and Chandramohan Prabhu, are you okay with this? With these 5 verses?
Yes, slowly
Yes,
to an
Prabhuji.
extent, to some extent.
Okay, so any one of you, can you recite these 5 verses? So
Yeah, I
that we
will
will
recite.
go to the other one.
Yeah, I will recite.
Whoever feels they're not comfortable with reciting, they should only do it. Who are not confident with it, they should do it. So please go ahead, because I will be helping them out.
Yes.
I will read, Prabhuji. We'll see how it goes.
Yes, Prabhu.
29. Hare Krishna. Chintamani prakarasatmasu kalparvruksha Lachyavrteshu surabhirabhipalayantam Lakshmi sahasrasata sambrama sevyamanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
యుద్ధానికి వెళ్తున్నారా ప్రభు?
What, Prabhu?
Are you going for a war?
I'm going from?
Are you going for a war, Prabhu?
War. No, Prabhu.
Slokas చదవండి
Okay.
ప్రభుజీ. సంహిత ఇది.
Here. Enam kanantamaravinda arindalayataksham Varhavatam samasitambuda sundarangam Kandarpakotikamaniya vishesha shubham Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. 31. Alola chandrakala sadvana malya vamsi Ratnangadam pranaya kelikala vilasam Shyamam tribangalalitam neta prakasam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
ఈ థర్డ్ లైన్ ఉంది కదా ప్రభుజీ. శ్యామం త్రిభంగ లలితం నియత ప్రకాశం. కొంచెం ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ చదవండి.
శ్యామం త్రిభంగ లలితం నియత ప్రకాశం.
లేదు ప్రభు, ఇందాక బాగా చదువు.
ఏం ప్రభు?
వెళ్ళండి, మీ ఫ్లోలో మీరు వెళ్ళండి, అంతే. ప్రాక్టీస్ కావాలి కొంచెం ఇంకా, సరేనా?
ఓకే,
మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చదవండి ప్రభుజీ.
ఓకే. ఆలోల చంద్రకళ సద్వన మాల్య వంశీ రత్నాంగదం ప్రణయ కేలికలా విలాసం శ్యామం త్రిభంగ లలితం నియత ప్రకాశం గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి. అంగాని యస్య సకలేంద్రియ వృత్తిమంతి పశ్యంతి పాంతి కలయంతి చిరం జగంతి ఆనంద చిన్మయ సదుజ్వల విగ్రహస్య గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి. అద్వైతమచ్యుతమనాదిమనంత రూపం ఆద్యం పురాణ పురుషం నవయౌవనం చ వేదేషు దుర్లభం అదుర్లభమాత్మ భక్తో గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి.
ప్రభుజీ రిసైటేషన్ బాగుంది ప్రభు, కానీ స్పీడ్ క్రాస్ 5 times ఉంటుంది కదా మన ఇంట్లో, అంత ఫాస్ట్ వెళ్తుంది ప్రభు, అది ఒకటి డిఫరెన్స్ ఉంటుంది. అది స్లోగా వస్తుంది ప్రభు, బట్ వర్డ్స్ ఎక్కడ కలపాలి అవన్నీ బాగానే ఉన్నాయి ప్రభు.
అకించన్ ప్రభు మీరు చేస్తారా?
చింతామణి ప్రకర సద్మసు కల్ప వృక్ష లక్షావృతేషు సురభి అభిపాలయంతం లక్ష్మీ సహస్ర శత సంభ్రమ సేవయమానా గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి.
ప్రభు థర్డ్ లైన్ ప్రభుజీ.
లక్ష్మీ సహస్ర శత సంభ్రమ సేవమాన్యాం సేవ్యమానం
భ్రమ సేవ్యమానం అనండి ప్రభు.
ఓకే. లక్ష్మీ సహస్ర శత సంభ్రమ సేవ్యమాన్యాం
ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ రిపీట్ చేయండి. లక్ష్మీ సహస్ర శతసం భ్రమ సేవ్యమానం.
లక్ష్మీ సహస్ర శతసం భ్రమ సేవ్యమానం.
Yes, go ahead.
వేణుం అనంతమరవిందదళ కటాక్షం
కటాక్షం వచ్చేసింది. వేణుమరవిందదళాయతాక్షం.
ఓకే. వేణుం క్వనంతమరవిందలాయతాక్షం. వేణుం క్వనంతరవిందదళాయతాక్షం బర్హావటం అసిత ఉద సుందరాంగం కందర్పకోటికమనీయ విశేష శోభం గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి.
సెకండ్ లైన్ లో సమసితాం ప్రభుజీ, సరేనా? బర్హవతం సమసితాం అని చదవండి తర్వాత.
ఆలోల చంద్ర కలసద్వనమాల్యవంశీ రత్నాగదం ప్రణయ కేలి కళా విలాసం శ్యామం త్రిభంగలలితం నియత ప్రకాశం గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి. అంగాని యస్య సకలేంద్రియవృత్తిమంతి పశ్యంతి పాంతి కలయంతి చిరం జగంతి ఆనంద చిన్మయ సదౌజ్వల విగ్రహస్య గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి. అద్వైతమచ్యుతమనాదిం అనంతరూపం ఆద్యం పురాణ పురుషం నవయౌవనం చ వేదేషు దుర్లభమాత్మభక్తౌ గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి.
ఓకే ప్రభుజీ, ఫస్ట్ రెండు చూసుకోండి కొంచెం, మిగతా అన్ని బాగానే ఉన్నారు. లాస్ట్ మూడు బాగానే ఉన్నాయి. మాతాజీ విల్ గో ఫర్ ద నెక్స్ట్ వన్. 34. ఇంకెవరైనా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తాం.
బ్రహ్మ సంహిత 5.20. చింతామణి ప్రకర సద్మ సుకల్ప వృక్ష లక్షావృతేషు సురభిర్ అభిపాలయంతం లక్ష్మీ సహస్ర శత సంభ్రమ సేవ్యమానం గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి. బ్రహ్మ సంహిత 5.30. వేణుం కనంత కరవిందదళాయతాక్షం బర్హావతం సమసితంబుద సుందరాంగం కందర్భకోటి కమనీయ విశేష శోభం గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి.
సెకండ్ లైన్ ప్రభుజీ. బర్హావతం సమసితాంబుద సుందరాంగం.
బర్హావతం సమసితాంబుద సుందరాంగం. సమసితాంబుద సుందరాంగం.
ప్రభుజీ ఒక చిన్న టెక్నిక్ ఏంటంటే, బ్రహ్మ సంహిత ఎంత స్లోగా చదివితే అంత నీట్ గా వస్తుంది ప్రభుజీ. ఎంత కంగారు పడిపోతే అంతే ఇది అయిపోద్ది. కొంచెం స్లోగా చదవండి, నీట్ గా వస్తుంది.
బ్రహ్మ సంహిత 5.31. హాలోల చంద్ర కలసత్ వనమాల్య వంశీ రత్నాంగదం ప్రణయ కేలి కల విలాసం శ్యామం త్రిభంగ లలితం నియత ప్రకాశం గోవిందమాదిపురుషం తమహం భజామి. ఒకసారి ఇది ఒక్కసారి చెప్పండి. ఒకసారి
సెకండ్ లైన్ అది ఎట్లా అంటే రత్నాంగదం ప్రణయ కీలికలా విలాసం.
రత్నాంగదం ప్రణయ కేలికలా విలాసం.
ఓకే.
సంహిత 5.30. అంగాని యస్య సకలేంద్రియ వృత్తి మంత్రీ పశ్యంతి పాంతి కలయంతి చిరం జగంతి ఆనంద చిన్మయ సద్ఉజ్వల విగ్రహాస్యాం గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి.
థర్డ్ లైన్ ఆనంద చిన్మయ సదుజ్వల విగ్రహస్య.
ఓకే. బ్రహ్మ సంహిత 5.33. అద్వైతమచ్యుతం అనాదిమనంత రూపం ఆద్యం పురాణ పురుషం నవయవ్వనం చ వేదేషు దుర్లభమాత్మభక్తౌ గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి.
మాతాజీస్ ఎవరికైనా చేయాలని ఉందా? హరే కృష్ణ.
Yeah, one time I'll do Mataji. I didn't do. Yeah, Brahma Samhita 5.29. Chintamani prakara satma sukalpa vriksha lakshawritesu surabhira vipalayantam lakshmi sahasra shata sambrama sevyamanam గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి. వేణుక్వనంతమరవిందదళాయతాక్షం బర్హావతం సమసితాంబుదసుందరాంగం కందర్భకోటికమనీయ విశేషశోభం గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి. ఆలోలచంద్రకలసత్వనమాల్యవంశీ రత్నాంగదం ప్రణయకేలికలా విలాసం శ్యామం త్రిభంగలలితం నియత ప్రకాశం గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి. అంగాని యస్య సకలేంద్రియ వృత్తిమంతి పశ్యంతి పాంతి కలయంతి చిరం జగంతి ఆనంద చిన్మయ సదుజ్వల విగ్రహస్య గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి. అద్వైతమచ్యుతమనాదిమనంతరూపం ఆద్యం పురాణ పురుషం నవయవ్వనం చ వేదేషు దుర్లభమదుర్లభమాత్మభక్తో గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి.
ఇంకెవరికైనా చేయాలని ఉందా?
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
బిఫోర్ వి ప్రొసీడ్, హరే కృష్ణ.
I'll do Mataji.
మదత్ చేయండి.
చింతామణి ప్రకర సత్మశుకల్ప వృక్ష లక్షావృతేషు సురభీర విపాలయంతం లక్ష్మీ సహస్రశత సంభ్రమ సేవ్యమానం గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి. వేణుం క్వనంతమరవిందదళాయతాక్షం బర్హావతం సమసితాంబుజసుందరాంగం కందర్పకోటికమనీయ విశేష శోభం గోవిందమాదిపురుషం తమహం భజామి. ప్రభుజీ సెకండ్ లైన్ కరెక్టేనా? నాకు మొన్న ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసేటప్పుడు కూడా డౌట్ వచ్చింది.
మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి చేయండి మాతాజీ.
వేణుం క్వనంతమరవిందదలాయతాక్షం బర్హావతం సమసితాంబుజసుందరాంగం కందర్పకోటికమనీయ విశేష శోభం గోవిందమాదిపురుషం తమహం భజామి.
బాగానే వచ్చింది మాతాజీ, ప్రాక్టీస్ వల్ల తెలుస్తుంది అది. అంటే మీరు ఆఫ్ చేస్తున్నారు కదా, ఆఫ్ చేయకుండా కూడా చేయొచ్చు, కొంచెం గ్యాప్ ఇచ్చి. బర్హావతం సమసితాం అది ఆపుతున్నారు కదా, మీకు ఎగ్జాక్ట్ అంటే ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయడం వల్ల వస్తుంది అనమాట. అది ఎక్కడ ఆపాలనేది, ఎక్కడ కంటిన్యూ చేయాలని.
ఓకే, బర్హావతం ఓకే ఓకే ప్రభు. ఆలోలచంద్రకలశద్వనమాల్యవంశీ రత్నాంగదం ప్రణయకేలికలావిలాసం శ్యామం త్రిభంగలలితం నియతప్రకాశం గోవిందమాదిపురుషం తమహం భజామి. అంగాని యస్య సకలేంద్రియవృత్తిమంతి పశ్యంతి పాంతి కలయంతి చిరం జగంతి ఆనంద చిన్మయ సదుజ్వల విగ్రహస్య గోవిందమాదిపురుషం తమహం భజామి. అద్వైతమచ్యుతమనాదిమనంతరూపం ఆద్యం పురాణ పురుషం నవయౌవనం చ వేదేషు దుర్లభమదుర్లభమాత్మభక్తౌ గోవిందమాదిపురుషం తమహం భజామి. ఇది థర్డ్ లైన్ కూడా రావట్లేదు ప్రభుజీ నాకు.
ఓకే మాతాజీ, ఓకే. వేదేషు దుర్లభమదుర్లభమాత్మభక్తౌ అంతే.
ఓకే ప్రభుజీ, ఐ విల్ ప్రాక్టీస్.
సంగీత మాతాజీ చేస్తారా?
చింతామణి ప్రకర సద్మసుకల్పవృక్షా లక్షావృతేషు సురభిరభిపాలయంతం లక్ష్మీ సహస్రశత సంభ్రమ సేవ్యమానం గోవిందమాదిపురుషం తమహం భజామి. వేణుం క్వనంతమరవిందదలాయతాక్షం బర్హావతం సమసితాంబుదసుందరాంగం కందర్పకోటికమనీయ విశేష శోభం గోవిందమాదిపురుషం తమహం భజామి. ఆలోలచంద్రకలసద్వనమాల్యవంశీ రత్నాగదం ప్రణయకేలికలావిలాసం శ్యామం త్రిభంగలలితం నియతప్రకాశం గోవిందమాదిపురుషం తమహం భజామి. అంగాని యస్య సకలేంద్రియవృత్తిమంతి పశ్యంతి పంటి కలయంతి చిరం జగంతి ఆనంద చిన్మయ సదుజ్వల విగ్రహస్య గోవిందమాదిపురుషం తమహం భజామి.
సెకండ్ లైన్ ఒకసారి చదువు మాతాజీ.
yes sir. పశ్యంతి పాంటి కలయంతి చిరం జగంతి.
అంటే తాలు మాతాజీ ఇక్కడ. పశ్యంతి పాంతి కలయంతి చిరం జగంతి.
ఓకే,
టీ కింద డాట్ ఉంటే అప్పుడు టీ అవుతుంది మాతాజీ, లేకపోతే అది టీ అవుతుంది.
సో టీ చదవాలి ప్రభుజీ. టీ ఓకే ప్రభుజీ.
టా కాదు, కింద ఒక ఒత్తు చుక్క ఉందనుకోండి, దాన్ని
Yes,
టా
sir.
చేయాలి మనం ఇక్కడ, లేకపోతే తా.
Okay, Prabhuji. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti ananda chinmaya sadujjvala vigrahasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami.
సెకండ్ వర్డ్ పాంతి అని చదవాలి మాతాజీ. పంతి అని వస్తుంది, అలా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేసినట్టు పాంతి అని చదవాలి.
ఓకే Prabhuji, థ్యాంక్ యూ. అద్వైతమచ్యుతమనాదిమనంతరూపం ఆద్యం పురాణ పురుషం నవయవ్వనం చ వేదేషు దుర్లభమధుర్లభమాత్మభక్తౌ గోవిందమాది పురుషం తమహం భజామి.
ప్రభుకి నిన్న నేను లేను, సో నేను కూడా ఒకసారి చేసేస్తాను.
చేయండి మాతాజీ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మాతాజీ.
Thank you, Mataji. Shri Brahma Samhita 5.29. Chintamani prakara satma sukalpa vriksha lakshavriteshu surabhir abhipalayantam lakshmi sahasra shata sambhrama sevyamanam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Venum kvanantamarvindadalayataksham barhavatam samasitambudasundarangam kandarpakotikamaniya vishesha shobham govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Alola chandrakalasadvanamalya vamshi रत्नागदं प्रणयकेलिकलाविलासं श्यामं त्रिभङ्गललितं नियतप्रकाशं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. अङ्गानि यस्य सकलेन्द्रियवृत्तिमन्ति पश्यन्ति पान्ति कलयन्ति चिरं जगन्ति आनन्दचिन्मय सदुज्ज्वल विग्रहस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि.
Yes, Mataji. No, it's already 9:04. So I think we should actually end it here only.
Yeah. Advaitamachyutamanadimanantarupam आद्यं पुराणपुरुषं नवयौवनं च वेदेषु दुर्लभमदुर्लभमात्मभक्तौ गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. So 5.34 we'll take it tomorrow, Prabhuji. Then.
Yes, Mataji. From tomorrow we'll take 5.34. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
I think everyone is on the this one in this one in the Mataji. So no issues. From tomorrow I will take Hari Bol.
Yes.
Hari.
Yes.
You can take Mataji. Hari Krishna.
वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्रीमद् भगवत गीता की जय. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. श्रीला प्रभुपाद बुक रीडिंग की जय. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.